office
Yeah.
address for that. And I said,
Bless his heart.
Okay, I will call the meeting to order, and we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, can we have the roll call, please?
Mr. Huffman. Mr. Schaefer.
Here.
Ms. Dixon.
Here.
Mr. Good.
Here.
Mr. Sowers. Mr. Seward. And Ms. Noack.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum, so we can proceed. Thank you, sir.
Cutting it close, but yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay, do we have any additions to the agenda or anything we need to take off? Okay, if not, we will follow the agenda that has been distributed to us. We have the minutes from our November meeting, November 10. Any additions or corrections? Any questions or anything we need to do in the minutes?
I move we accepted the minutes as presented.
Support.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we don't have anybody signed up as the citizen comment period. Now, we do have one public hearing scheduled for this evening. This is a special use permit application at 209 Woodland Avenue. We had this information to take a look at last month, and now it's been advertised and the property owners have been notified. We do have a request from Mr. Courtney Rentals. Courtney Rentals is the business, for a special use permit to operate a lodging house at 209 Woodland Avenue. This is zoned high-density residential, which is R3. We have the definition for a lodging house. And they say in the application they would intend to use this as an Airbnb, so a rental property of that type. We do have some things to consider that would be a part of this special use permit if it goes forward. Those conditions would be no more than 6 guests at any one time, off-street parking for the guest vehicles. There can be one identification sign not exceeding 4 square feet. If there are any meals provided, they're for the guest only. And of course, the rental agents would have to obtain a town business license and remit the transient occupancy tax and the meals tax if there is some. All right, again, we have the application, tax map information there showing 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, 960 square feet. We have the aerial photo or the photo map and a drawing of the house itself and the notice of public hearing. Anything else that we've got on this application?
No, sir. No one has called to provide comments or questions about the application.
All right, I do need to officially open the public hearing, but we don't have anybody signed up to speak, so I'll close the public hearing. Now, any discussion, questions on this?
I mean, the only question I have, and I think you answered it earlier, like 3 individual people, 3 couples could book a room there with 1 bathroom, right?
I would think so. In that regard, it would be similar to a bed and breakfast. Of course, lots of bed and breakfasts have private bathrooms with your bedroom, but some don't. It might be 3 bedrooms on a floor and the bath is down the hallway.
It's in the description of the house you're renting, I suppose.
It is, our code only speaks to the number of bedrooms, not necessarily to the bathrooms available, but
The number of bedrooms and the number of guests.
yes, sir.
Yeah. And I know we've had questions on some applications that we've had like this before, and I don't think we know of any real problems that have been associated. There are rentals all through the county, all along the river, and of course here in town. I think maybe sometimes if people would look on the home away site, which is now what used to be Airbnb, I think if you would look at that site, you might find some places around town that you didn't know. Oh, well, I didn't know that house on South Hawksbill Street was Airbnb or home away. So again, unless somebody knows something that we don't know, I don't think there've been any major problems.
No, sir.
Usually people come in and they do the things in the area that all of our visitors do. They eat in the restaurants, they buy gas at the gas stations, and they use property like this to sleep at night, maybe fix some breakfast in the morning, or maybe go to Hardee's or someplace close by, and then they go away. So, am I correct on that?
You were correct. During one of the previous SUP applications, that had been a concern of the adjacent property owners, and our police chief did report to the town council that he's not aware of any calls for disturbances or other issues related to tenants at a short-term rental within the town limits.
Any other discussion or questions? Okay, if not, are we ready for a motion?
I move that the Planning Commission recommend approval of the special use permit to operate a lodging house at 209 Woodland Avenue with the conditions provided as presented.
Second.
Okay, can we have the roll call, please?
Ms. Dixon?
Yes.
Mr. Good?
Yes?
Ms. Noack?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes?
Okay, the next item is from Luray Landing. We're asked to consider the preliminary and final plat received from Baker Development Partnership for the subdivision of parcels 42A17, 1 through 10, 11, 12, and 13 into 24 developable lots and 3 open space lots for the Luray Landing Planned Neighborhood Subdivision. And Steve noted there that the Planning Commission is required to review and provide recommendation to the council of the preliminary and final plat applications. And again, we have a number of pages of information, the application, the surveys, different drawings that show this subdivision and the open space properties too. And the photo that's here on the back, is that what would be proposed for some of the lots?
It's just a general depiction provided by the applicant. It's intended to identify that it is more of a townhome, two-story townhome that they're pursuing, but it may or may not be the final dwellings.
It should be correct.
Okay. I didn't want to convince y'all.
Should be.
Okay.
So that's why the lots then are like 2,000 square feet or 3,000 square feet and so on. Okay. Any information from the surveyor or developers?
Yeah, I can speak a little bit. So really, all we're doing is putting those lots, subdividing them into 20-foot wide townhome lots on what's presented there, and providing the open space required as part of the master use plan. So it's what we've already approved as part of that master use plan. That update we just did, it's just basically getting these lots platted and on record so that we can move forward with construction. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to try to answer them.
Pretty straightforward, I think.
And it would seem to provide an option for homeowners, assuming these are being sold to
Yeah.
town.
So basically, the builder has come in and gotten with Baker, and they see the numbers are showing that obviously we know we need more housing here, so that's what we're trying to do here. They're trying to provide that. And this is one of a few phases we're in motion of doing this, getting it started, and the intent here is in the next couple of months to come to you again with the next section. So that is the intent.
I think it's exactly what the community needs, as more and more people from Northern Virginia look to
Mhm.
get out of that environment and come here and support our community, with some with high-paying jobs and have a nice opportunity.
And these sections were previously platted for duplexes and townhomes before, and then obviously after the recession, we had peeled that back to try to use commercial lots to see if we could sell those. But now that the market's here, so it's kind of going back to the same use that we'd already been at before, so.
And we have the water and sewer to support this development.
We do.
Fire hydrants. If Clifton Campbell was here in this seat, he would always want to know about the fire hydrants, so I got to do that.
Yes. Water and sewer has been agreed upon and developers' agreements in place, so we have that taken care of, yes, sir.
And fire.
Yeah, and fire. Fire suppression.
I do apologize, Brian did point out that my sticky fingers mistyped on your suggested motion under the 24, it's not 234, so I do apologize for that.
That eagle eye Brian, I tell you.
Sounds good, Brian.
Try working for it.
Mr. Jenkins was complaining about that, but, you guys might want to look at that again later.
And, besides the folks that might be moving in from other high-priced areas, a lot of times as people get older, or if their life situation changes, loss of a spouse or something along that line, this may be exactly what they're looking for. They don't want to keep up their own bigger house and yard and all that goes with that. They want something more practical.
And obviously, we hope that this is the spark for a lot of commercial development there around as well, so we can have the shops and food amenities there so they can walk and get there. That's the goal, right?
Do they have elevators to the second floor?
I don't think on these, but I've done many designs where they have elevator options, and the builder has plenty of different townhome options that they could go with, yeah.
Okay, any other questions or information that we need? Stormwater, I'm sure would be addressed.
Yeah, so the construction plans have already been approved for all of this back in 2007. So all we're doing is basically modifying those construction plans for the water and sewer taps. So everything else has already been kind of accounted for, worst case scenario in the stormwater.
We don't need a public hearing on this.
No, sir, because this is part of the planned neighborhood development, and all we're looking to do is to affirm the preliminary and final plans. No, sir.
I'll move that the planning commission recommend approval to the town council of the subdivision application for Baker Development Partnership LLC to create 24 developable lots and 3 open space lots for Luray Landing Planning Neighborhood subdivision as presented.
Support.
We have the roll call, please.
Ms. Noack?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Ms. Dixon?
Yes.
Mr. Good?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions that we have from the commission on other subjects? Other things we need to be brought up to date on?
We wish you all a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year, and look forward to seeing you all in January again at your next meeting.
Sounds good.
Oh, I wanted to say, I had a chance to look at the apartment development across from the airport, and it looks fabulous. I mean, the brick is just gorgeous. The buildings are just, it's amazing.
No, they're coming along nicely.
Oh, yeah, it's just wonderful.
Anything else?
You may notice when you're driving back into town from points northward, Brian's had a new electronic entrance sign to replace the old, just stop, put letters into it, so we're hoping to have that online within the next week.
Mr. Chairman, contractor bids for the roundabout project are due in Richmond January 19th, 2022. So it looks like that project is finally starting to move a little bit, which is nice. But again,
Supposed to be today.
but it was supposed to be today, you're right, but the commissioner's office, I think, or the engineer's office extended it about a month. But again, being that we've waited for 2+ years, I'm not gonna hold my breath until I actually see a machine digging up ground out there. Yep.
Now, what did you say it was again? Is it going out for bids or?
It's already out. They're due back into the Richmond office, no later than January 19th, 2022. So after that, then there'll be a review and assignment, and then we'll probably start to get engaged here locally with the Stanton district and the Harrisonburg residency and start getting down to brass tacks on some stuff.
The delay reminds me a little bit about the new bridge on 340 South there at the Hawksbill Trading Company now. That was in the works for years to get the road lined and the bridge and the road and the railroad. There were engineers after engineers that said this isn't going to happen. You can't get much improvement to change the lay of that road through there and meet all the other criteria. But eventually, we did go out for bids, and it's a big improvement as to what there was back long, years ago. So,
I think that'll be a big improvement. I mean, I've seen a few roundabouts around the state that I thought would never work. And ones at Virginia Tech where 30,000 people come out one way and 30,000 the other, and it's just like clockwork. And the one at Culpeper works well, and I think it will improve that with the redesign out there around the caverns. I think it'll help. A lot of people don't think so, but
They just need to see it. Sometimes seeing is believing.
And just stopping the traffic at that crossover. That's a problem intersection right there at that crossover anyway.
We went out that way today to go to Food Line, and my wife said, "What's happened to the roundabout? What's going on with the roundabout?"
Now you can tell her.
I said, "Yeah." But at that point, I said, "Well, it's still in the works. It's out there."
there's gonna be an additional lane going from the tower over toward the caverns off of Main Street.
There'll be a 2/3 long dedicated turn lane headed west toward Walmart and shopping center and things like that. So there will be an additional lane in there. It'll be about from the top of the hill, John, to the 211
That'll
interchange.
help a lot.
Yep. And it'll be a single lane roundabout. Let me be clear about that. Dual lane roundabouts tend to struggle a little bit with driver interaction, but single lanes work very smoothly. So.
Okay, if there, oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, when is the next meeting, January? Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I missed it.
No. Our next meeting, I believe, is January the 12th. And I think at that meeting is when we elect a chair and vice chair for that next year. So y'all be ready?
I'll be absent.
Let the
that-
campaigning begin.
I'll be absent that day.
Okay, so we'll elect you.
You get picked.
Yeah, that's right.
Prime candidate.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought I missed it.
No, I was just to that point of January the 12th. Okay. If there's nothing else, then we've completed our agenda. So we're adjourned.
See you.